For the older generation, it is a very difficult task convincing them to change their attitude towards waste. But for the younger generation, it might be a bit easier to teach them early how to manage their waste. This is Green Angle, the show that explores the environments we live in and the ecological problems we face while preferring sustainable solutions. I am Ugochi Oluibo. On this episode of the program, we speak to two young persons in Lagos, southern Nigeria, who understand how to collaborate to tackle Nigeria's waste challenge. You're watching Green Angle. Now let's talk to the founders of We Separate Waste. Thanks for joining us on the program.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's talk about your project, We Separate Waste. What is this all about?
It's basically a waste sensitization project for young people in secondary school and primary school. The idea is to help them appreciate waste better and see waste as resource, as materials they could use for creative purposes, and not just something you trash and then it goes back to us or onto us later. So it's to make them see waste as things that they can engage with, things that they can recreate, reproduce, and also use for other meaningful purposes. So why we decided to focus on young people, because we see them as the next generation of Nigeria, and habits are still forming. Adults, it's difficult to correct adults, but young people, even if it takes time, you can still correct them. But adults, you may never correct an adult because the habits are already formed. So over time, we realized this and we felt, okay, Nigeria is a country that a lot of waste is produced on a daily basis, and this has caused a lot of environmental hazards and damages to our environment. So if we want to correct this in the long term, what's the best way to go about it? One of the ways is sensitization, and who are the right audience to target. The younger generation is better. So we felt, okay, if the message can go to the younger people, it means there's still hope for Nigeria, and then our environment can get better along the line. So we engage them not just by sensitizing them, we also let them see that waste can be used for beautiful purposes like arts and crafts. We can use them to create objects at home, things in their school, and at the same time we also teach them sorting, which is not commonly practiced in homes and also even in schools in Nigeria. So these are some of the systems and methods that we try to inculcate in them. And over time, we've been seeing results, and a lot of students have changed habits and patterns with the way they relate with waste.
Why waste? Do you believe that waste is a huge problem in Africa? Do you really think it's so serious that we need to start teaching separating waste early in Africa? Why waste?
Going by Lagos State, for example, one of the very prominent problems is the issue of environment. Because waste in itself is not actually waste. It depends on the perspective that you are looking at it. Because waste can actually be converted to be a raw material for another use. So from that, we now begin to teach these young ones how to be creative around it. Creativity, because creativity is something that is at the front burner in our present age and time now. So everyone got to be creative with everything you do. So people appreciate creative works. So we inspire creativity in these young people, how to be creative with things that they see, and it has the result has been quite inspiring. We try to see how we can teach these young ones about environmental education. We noticed that in our secondary school curriculum there is no environmental education. A similar subject to it is geography. So we choose this our club as an avenue to teach environmental education. Where environmental themes, are taught to these children, and it has been impactful for them. It complements what their teacher are teaching them. They could relate better to it. with the way we present it to them. It's a real life thing, and they are saying it, and it's phenomenal. They are excited about it. Things that concern not just our environment, but global issue. So it makes them to see themselves not about concern about Nigeria, but that they are part and parcel of this global world.
Tell us how it works. Now you walk into a school and you begin to teach children how to separate waste. Paint a picture of how this actually works.
Basically, we go to a school, most especially a school where we know where we mostly work with public schools. Where we know there's a gap, most especially in environmental education, as he mentioned, and where we know these habits are easily formed at home, because especially for those that live in low-income houses or areas, if you tell them, recycling, most of them are just hearing it for the first time. They don't even have an idea of what sorting is and all that. So we try to target schools that most of the students come from low-income houses or areas, and then once we get there, we first of all sensitize them. We use a day to sensitize them. Then subsequently, usually we spend like 3 days in a school. We sensitize them. Then after that, we invite some environmental experts, those who are experts in the industry. We talk to them about waste sorting and recycling. They also educate them about economic opportunities in that area, in case of some of them that may want to go into that line after school. And then we also invite young people who are artists who create a lot of fantastic work from recyclable materials. So we engage them, and then works they create, they have a mini exhibition in their school, and they're excited about it. And then we also create debates too between classes, where they talk about topics, regarding to the environment. So with that, after those activities, we set up a club, which is called the Waste Rescue Club, which continues the activities that we've introduced to them and help sustain the ideas that have also been introduced. So winners of the debates, it represents the club presidents, and then other officials are also elected, and then the system continues. And then what we just do is monitoring and evaluation, and also help them out on how they can sort their waste. We help them create a system where they can sort their waste, and then a recollection organization like the likes of recyclers or recycle points goes to pick up from them once they properly sort their waste, in their schools. This is a system that they've never done before. Most of them are just introduced to it newly, and they are very excited about it. And we want to see it sustained and expand to a lot of other schools.
And that also brings up the question of collaborations for many people in the green sphere. We have so many entrepreneurs, green startups coming up. How can they collaborate? How important is collaboration in this sector, like other sectors?
Well, partly our friendship is also helping the relationship, because to a large extent I trust him, he trusts me as well, because in business or whatever project you are doing, you can't take trust away. So I think the friendship has helped us to a very large extent to understand our goals, vision and missions, all together. So largely it has helped us positively. It doesn't take away the sometimes the misunderstandings or arguments and all that, mostly based on ideas, conflicting ideas and all that. So you can't take that away as friends outside the project or business or whatsoever. From time to time we have misunderstandings. It's just normal. We get along, get better and all that. So in the green industry, I think we need more collaborations like that, especially on projects that have positive impacts. Because most times I see when there's synergy, results are better and impacts are more felt. So I think we need more collaborations, more partnerships, so the results could be more tangible, so that the sustainability of whatever project one runs or is into has a greater future.
The big question of challenges. Every business has its challenge, or every organization has challenges. Talk about, let's hear about your challenges so far.
You know, the project is close to 2 years now that we've started, and it's normal, we'll face challenges, but one of the very big challenges is issue of finance. You know, even though we had some little grants back then when we first started, and that has helped to spread to about 10 schools currently. You know, but finance has really played a major issue in this whole project. And aside finance, with the school, you know, a lot of the schools that we have currently, you know, there's this issue of acceptability. You know, we have to really convince some of the teachers, you know, to really work with us, because really we don't stay in the school during the school period. So we really need the partnership of some of the teachers, you know, to properly inculcate this habit in the school. Not just doing it because we've sensitized them on a program basis, but that every time is a system in which they are used to.
And what's the plan for the future? 5 years, 10 years, what do we expect to see from We Separate Waste?
5 years from now, I want to see expansion all over Lagos. You know, the projects being in almost all public schools in Lagos, and then in 10 years, I want to see waste-free schools and students that understand the principles of environmental management and waste management, and schools where you can go into your same proper sorting system. You know, students actually practicing, you know, it in school and at home, and also see students who are working creatively with waste materials, whether in the arts or any other avenue possible.
Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're watching Green Angle. We'll be right back. And that's Green Angle for today. Remember to send your comments and suggestions using the addresses on your screen. And if you do have a green project or idea, send us a 2-minute video or photo, and we will definitely help you share it with the world. I am Ugochi Olibo. Thanks for your time.